Hello, first graders. Welcome to a new English lesson. Please get your reading and writing workshop book ready and let's start. We're going to start with page 134, which is Up in the Sky. That's Unit 5, Lesson 2. So let's see what we have here. Remember the main idea or the big idea for this unit was how can we make sense of the world around us? And we asked question in the beginning of the unit, what they can see around you, what can you hear, what can you smell using your sense. And remember also the poetry about the shadow for the girl who's playing outside and the shadow that follow her everywhere. Today we're going to talk about the weekly concept, up in the sky. The essential question, what can you see in the sky? So for this week, we'll be talking and reading about different objects that we can see in the sky, from birds to stars. So as we know, the up in the sky, when you see, it's not empty. There is probably stars where we see the clouds, you see birds, you see the sun. It depends if you're looking in the night or during the day. For our poster here, we see the girl using the telescope, and it says night and day, and I can see that she is using the telescope, and definitely she is looking for stars. All right, so let's see. We have few vocabularies that will help us understand the lesson for this week. So let's see first our weekly opener.
Up in the sky. What can you see in the sky? What do you see when you look up in the sky? Watch as the sky changes throughout the day. You'll see the sun rise in the east early in the morning. Sometimes the sky is filled with clouds. The wind moves the clouds and the sky changes. Sometimes there are so many clouds that they cover up the sun. At the end of the day, the sun sets in the west, and the sky fades from bright to dark. Night comes. Then you can see the moon move across the sky. From day to day, the moon looks like it changes its shape. When it is perfectly round, we call it a full moon. What else can you discover in the sky?
All right. So this video explained that with these things during the day and in the night in the sky, they're different, and sometimes they even change. So let's see, for example. If we talk about the moon.
This is how the Earth and the moon look from space. How much of the moon we can actually see changes from day to day.
Okay, go to the next poster.
On a clear night, you can see hundreds of stars just by looking up at the sky. Telescopes help us see objects in the sky and learn even more about space.
Okay, this is a bigger version of the telescope comparing with what the girl was using it. And then
high-powered telescopes can show us galaxies of stars far, far away.
So as we agree now, the sky is not empty. There's lots of things to see. All right. Let's see.
Why the Sun and Moon Are in the Sky. A retelling of a Nigerian folktale. How do you think the sun and moon got into the sky? This folktale offers an explanation. Long, long ago, the sun and moon lived on Earth and shared a home on top of a hill. From their home, they were able to observe the vast sea. Every morning and evening, the sun and moon left their home to visit their good friend, the sea, and her family. The sea had a large family. Among her children were dolphins, whales, seals, and schools of fish. All of these creatures called the sea Mother, and she never went anywhere without them. One morning, while the sun and moon were visiting the sea, they had the same idea. "Dear friend, each morning and evening we visit you," Sun said. "Yes," added Moon. "Now we would like to invite you to our home. Will you come to visit us?"
Okay, as we see that this is a folk tale, so this is like a very old stories that been passed from generation to generation, and sometimes explain things in a different way or in a happy or funny way. So this was about sun and the moon. Let's see the next page.
"How very thoughtful of you to invite me to your home," replied the sea. "Of course I would like to visit you. However, I never go anywhere without all my children, and I fear that your house is too small." The sun and moon looked up at their small house. They thought about how big the sea was and how many children she had. "We shall build a new house," said Sun. "Yes," added Moon. "We will build a larger house so that you and all your children can visit us." So the sun and moon built a very large house. Their new house was so huge that it covered the entire top of the hill. In fact, it was the most enormous house that the sun and moon had ever seen.
Right. Let's see the next poster. What do you think would happen next?
As soon as their house was completed, the sun and moon went to the sea. "Our new house is finished. We are certain that it is large enough for you and your children to visit us," said the sun. "Please come and visit us tomorrow," said the moon. The next day, the sea and her entire family arrived at the sun and moon's new house. The sea asked, "May we come in?" The sun and moon replied, "Yes, dear friend, do come in." So the sea flowed in with some of her children, including small fish, large fish, spotted fish, striped fish, and some beautiful creatures with shells. Soon the floor was covered with nearly 2 feet of water, and the sun and moon were standing on top of a table. As the sea kept flowing in with more creatures, she asked the sun and moon, "Should we continue to come in?" And the sun and moon replied, "Yes, dear friend, do come in."
Let's see what happens next.
The sea kept pouring in with more of her children: sharks, stingrays, dolphins, seals, and a giant whale. Now the sea and her family flowed above the tables, and the sun and moon had to climb on top of their roof. The sea kept asking, "Should we continue to come in?" The sun and moon did not wish to be rude. They replied, "Yes, dear friend, do come in." As the sea flowed in with more of her children, she filled the house to the ceiling. The sun and moon had nowhere else to climb. Their whole house was under water, so they flew up into the sky. And there they have remained to this very day, watching over their good friend, the sea, and all her children.
All right, so we agree it's a folk tale. Sometimes it's just to explain a point or to have fun, but it's not how the sun and the moon move to the sky as is in the story. All right, let's see what we have here, the vocabulary. Let's see, we have oral vocabularies that will help us to understand the concept. So let's see, first one.
Observe. I can observe what the birds do in the bird bath.
So let's see one more time.
Observe. I can observe what the birds do in the bird bath.
So observe is to watch carefully. Let's go for next.
Vast. We sailed on the vast ocean. Vast. When something is vast, it is very large.
One more time.
Vast. We sailed on the vast ocean.
All right, let's go for the next word.
Certain. Juan is certain that he will have fun at the fair.
Certain means you're sure of something, or you're certain, you're sure that this will happen. So let's see one more time.
Certain. Juan is certain that he will have fun at the fair.
Is he sure that he's gonna have fun in a fair? All right, let's see next.
Remained. The kite got stuck in the tree, and it remained there until the wind blew it down.
When we say something remained, means stayed in the same place. So it remained there, as you see, it's stuck and remained there till someone get it down. So let's see one more time.
Remained. The kite got stuck in the tree, and it remained there until the wind blew it down.
Okay. So it stayed in the same place, or stayed as it is. Next word.
Thoughtful. Kayla was thoughtful when she visited her grandmother in the hospital.
Okay, when we say a person is thoughtful, means this person is kind and thinks about how others feel. So as we see, the girl was thoughtful when she visited her grandmother in the hospital. So she was thinking of her grandmother, so she went to visit her in the hospital. Let's read it one more time.
Thoughtful. Kayla was thoughtful when she visited her grandmother in the hospital.
All right, so these are the vocabulary that we will have, and we're going to use it in a story. All right, let's listen to this story. The genre is fantasy. The essential question, what can you see in the sky? So let's see. Foxes build home.
Genre, fantasy, essential question. What can you see in the sky? The Foxes Build a Home by Daniel Haken. Illustrated by Fian Arroyo. Chapter 1, Building Plans, page 2. Chapter 2, Racing to the Sun, page 6. Chapter 3, Going Home and Good Night, page 10. Respond to reading, page 12. Paired read, Sunrise and Sunset, page 13. STEM, Focus on Science, page 6.
Okay. Let's start chapter 1.
Chapter 1, Building Plans. The Fox family was building another home. Their new blue door was under a big tree root. Patty and Paws were not old enough to help Mama and Papa Fox. Children, why don't you make a pretend house nearby? Papa Fox said. Let's see who can build the biggest room, said Patty. Paws shook her head. She said, let's see who can build the strongest room.
Next page.
Patty dug through the grass. My room is going to be bigger than yours, he said. Paws stacked sticks to make walls in her smaller room. Then she covered the sticks with mud. My room is going to be strong, Paws told Patty.
Next page.
Patty stepped back to look at his work. My room is bigger than yours. Do you want to come see? He asked his sister. Paws looked at the sky. She said, it's getting darker. It will be too dark to build soon. I won't be able to dig, said Patty. Chapter 2, Racing to the Sun. Mama called, the sun is going to set. Soon he's going to sleep in the west. Poor Patty and Paws were not happy. They didn't know what to do. They wanted to keep working on their rooms. Pause said, Mama, may we go ask our friend Sun not to set too early? Okay, ask him nicely, said Mama, and come right back.
As we know, the showing stuff in the sky, so we see the sun in the sky, but also we know that this is a fantasy story.
Patty and Pause raced toward the setting sun. Look, said Patty, the sun is already going away. We need to hurry, Pause said. The young foxes chased after the sun. 2 long red tails waved behind them like flags. They had to climb over bushes. They leaped over rocks. Dear friend, Sun, Pause called. Wait. The great sun turned his bright full face toward the foxes. He said, Well, hello, you two. Please, Sun, would you stay up for a little bit longer so we can keep playing? Patty asked nicely. Mama and Papa are building our den, Pause added. They would like to work a little longer, too.
What's next?
Chapter 3, Going Home and Good Night. Sun said, Let's go see what your Mama and Papa are doing. So Sun traveled back to the new den with the young foxes. Mama and Papa were happy to show Sun their home. Patty and Pause finished building their rooms. Patty asked Sun, Couldn't you stay up all the time? No, said Sun. He yawned and stretched. You need night as well as day. You need time to sleep. Time for bed. Good night, my little furry ones. The foxes waved good night to the sun. The sun set in the west, and the fox family went to bed in the new home with the blue door.
Okay. So let's see. Retell, which like he's saying, telling the story with using your own words. But the most important, you need to add or say your words and your thoughts in sequence, or organize your thoughts. So you say what happened first, next, and then. And then we have the cause and effect, that something had happened, and because it's happened, we have this reason. All right. Page 6, what's causing the sky to get dark? So we go for cause and effect. So if you go to page 6, let's see. All right, the sun, what over there, that's Mama called the sun is going to set soon, and he's going to sleep in the west. So poor Patty, the Paws were not happy. They didn't know what to do. They wanted to keep working on their rooms. So when the sun going west, that's what happened. So they're gonna have dark. So we won't be able to finish their work. Why do Patty and Paws want Sun to stay out? Why they want it to stay out? Because they want to finish their rooms. How do you know that the foxes build a home is a fantasy? We know there's too many things. First of all, animals don't talk, and also you cannot, neither the sun cannot talk, and the sun cannot also change the mind and stay for longer, right? So this is all points make us know that this is a fantasy, and also the fox cannot dig or build things. All right. All right, so let's go and just quickly revise what we covered today. We talked about our weekly opener, which is like the question was, what can you see in the sky? And we agreed that in the sky you can see a lot, starting from birds, airplanes, stars, sun, moon. And also we saw in this girl that she was using the telescope, so she can see even further than what her eyes can see. All right, so that's it for today, first graders. Thank you. Bye-bye.